Hello everybody! In this video, we'll talk about how and why you should develop strength, endurance and health. But before we start, many of you who are watching my videos are still not subscribed to my channel. It would help me a ton if you would smack that subscribe button, click the notification bell, leave a like and leave a comment on what you think that I should be covering next. Now that we have gotten that out of the way, let's get started. So first, when leveling these skills, you will notice that there are sometimes a green arrow, no arrows and a red arrow when looking at your skill in game. This is the indicator of whether you hit the diminishing returns or not. We cannot just sprint for a whole raid and level up our skills a whole level or two. You'll reach the diminishing return quite quickly, so while leveling this up, I suggest you either do your usual quest, farming kill or störmen, farming money or whatever you would normally do to not get burned out. So let's start with endurance first. This skill is really great for those who want to be first at certain hotspots, but also in general convenient later on. To level up endurance, all we gotta do is sprint or walk while not being overweight. This is usually indicated when we're looking at how heavy we are with either yellow or red. Leveling up this is based on the distance we have traveled while not being overweight. The perks we get from leveling this is as shown here, and we're mostly interested in the elite skills, which give us a stupid amount of stamina and not making this unnecessary asthma coughing sound when we are drained all of our stamina. You may think this is overrated and not worth it, but let's look how far we can actually sprint with a normal loadout. You'll be amazed. Next is strength. With this skill you can carry more before getting overweight. Aiming drains less, you jump higher, move and sprint faster, and a little less important, you also deal more melee damage and have a chance to deal a melee critical strike. Basically, how you level this up is the same as endurance, but you need to be overweight. You literally just need to be 100 grams over the boundary to level up strength. So don't go around and put extra kilos on, as it will actually not level it up faster, nor will it help you during your raid. Just for info, I'd suggest you getting endurance to elite skill first, as the extra stamina will actually help us leveling up strength. If you are not high level in endurance, you'll probably notice that you can only sprint a little distance at a time, whereas with elite endurance you can sprint a really long distance. So there are 3 ways to go around putting on some weight. The first one is to have a normal setup and fill up with buckshots that you can buy from Jaeger. This is cheap, but a little bit tedious for my taste if you happen to die once in a while too often. The second one is, which is also my favorite, is to fill up a documents case with SAS drives. It will give you a nice 14 kilo chunk with your normal setup, so in the start you probably don't need to fill it all up, but as you gain levels you will see that you'll need to fill it up more and more and more to make it work. Alternatively, you can buy manuals instead, which gives some kilos, it's cheaper, and sadly it's less dense. The last one is the red way, and requires you to have an Epsilon or Kappa container. Basically, put a military battery in your container, and then run around and do like me. Melee a scav down apparently, get a little bit of loot, so whatever you can fit in your container if you have a Kappa container, and probably expect to die like. Lastly is health. Basically you have a less chance of getting fractures, you consume less energy and dehydration, and at the elite skill you get more damage absorption and you get poison immunity, I suppose. If you have upgraded your hideout, you can buy an air filter unit and put in an FP100 filter absorb. This will increase your experience gain of physical skills during its duration. I find myself getting around 10 points on average per raid if I don't die in the first 2 minutes, And seeing how I try to make my raids around 5 minutes at most when farming killer or farming graphics cards in reserve is perfect. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell notification to get notified for future videos. If you want me to cover something specific, let me know in the comments.